What's up, guys? Doc here. Breaking away from the usual gaming videos and stuff like that to bring some attention to an issue that it's going on right now in the Magic community, especially among us Commander players. And I want to get in there and I want to make my voice heard because I feel like the more of us who speak out against this, the better a chance we have at this not affecting us negatively. And that's with the Secret Lair Walking Dead drop that's coming in October. It's got a list price of $49.99 in both US dollars and euros, or looks like US dollars and pounds, and the euro it's running for $54.99 of that currency. But when I first saw this, I was really excited. I'm kind of a fan of Walking Dead. I've been on again, off again. I watched the show with my dad and my brother, and don't really have anything negative to say, and I've loved the Secret Lair drops. I just could never afford to get them right now because of the fact they offered the altered art, never before seen art, reprints of cards, and the Godzilla lands, because I'm a sucker for awesome full art lands. In fact, my zombie deck has not the full art version, but it has all the showcase lands from Core Set 21. I've got a bunch of the full art from Battle for Zendikar in both my Marath Will of the Wild Oops All Land deck, as well as my Vampire Surprise Eldrazi deck. So full art lands have been something that I've really enjoyed. But what concerns me about this set, which I'm bringing up here on the screen now, the cards included in this set will be completely new to Magic, depicting the iconic characters of the long-running and critically acclaimed TV series. These are mechanically unique cards that will be legal in Eternal formats. Commander players especially should look forward to bringing their favorite characters from The Walking Dead to life on the tabletop. So right there, they're targeting Commander players and Eternal format players that we need these cards. They're trying to justify to us that we have to spend the $50 that we may or may not have. The one thing about that normally I would be totally cool with, oh, hey, I need these for my deck. I'll pay the $50 and I'll get them because I'll get all these other cool cards that are reprints, is that these are all new to Magic. These aren't Magic cards. These are Walking Dead cards in the flavor of Magic the Gathering. So what exactly is wrong with that? Well, what's wrong with that is that this basically will now cause basically a whale hunt. The people who can afford the Secret Lair drops are going to get the Secret Lair drops. They're going to get these cards, which they revealed 4 tokens and 4 legendary creatures, as well as 2 that have not been revealed yet, and I'll get to those here in a minute. But they're going to get those Secret Lair drops, they're going to get these cards, and they're going to insert them into the Eternal formats because these aren't silver bordered. These are black bordered. These are completely legal cards that can be used just like any other card you can pull out of a freaking pack, which, if I recall correctly, Magic and Wizards promised they weren't going to make any other cards that you couldn't pull from a regular pack after the last time this went south on them. So the thing is that if you can't afford the Secret Lair drop, well, the problem is that these are only going to be made for how many people pre-order the drop. So the cards are going to be extremely limited, which means that if you want to buy them secondary, the price is going to be astronomical. And Wizards will still make that money because you're going to be selling these cards as a Magic player. The money you get is more than likely going to go back into buying more Magic cards. I've done it myself. And Mark Rosewater has even come out and said, and I'll bring his tweets up on screen right here, that if it's popular enough, they'll reprint it in a Magic style card. If that's the case, make the Magic style card that we can all use. Because a couple of these are really powerful and they're going to really tilt the way the game is played. And if you remember with Oko and with Uro that they just banned, if you have these tilting cards, it's going to make things difficult for the rest of the players. It's going to swamp the meta and it's going to be insane. Now, if they would have found versions of these cards that they could have done like the Godzilla set, where it's basically like a cosmetic, use it as a replacement of this card, I wouldn't have had any issue with it. But the fact that these are cards that are singularly on their own, no other card like this exists. It's ridiculous. So First off, you've got the 3 different walkers that they've released so far that are tokens. These are technically zombie tokens, but they're called walkers specifically. These can only be summoned by these Walking Dead characters that can summon them. And right now, the ones they've shown have depicted the bicycle zombie, the well zombie, and the blade zombie with quotes from the show. Additionally, they've released an altered art, or I guess new art treasure token, which depicts Rick's badge and hat. But what really gets me are the legendary creatures. So let's start with those. So we've got Daryl, Hunter of Walkers. I love Daryl. He's a 4-drop, Gruul colors, legendary human archer. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent creates 3 walker tokens. You tap him. Daryl deals 2 damage to target creature, and whenever a zombie an opponent controls dies, draw a card. So you can use this, and you can basically use him during your upkeep, make the zombie tokens, and then tap Daryl, kill one of those walker tokens, and draw a card. You know, that's not too terrible. I mean, you could run with that. Then you've got Glenn, the voice of calm. He's a 3-drop Demir, or no, that's Azorius. 3-drop Azorius. Human advisor. He has Skulk, which means he can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. I mean, that makes sense for his character. And whenever Glenn deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to his power. So essentially, being that he's a 1/3, you're always going to be drawing 1 card when he manages to get through without being blocked. And then you drop him in an Azorius token deck, or an Azorius block control, where you can use spells that give tokens for +1/+1 counters, and he's going to end up getting really beefy. I mean, I can see a lot of card draw from this. Then you have Michonne, Ruthless Survivor. She is a Golgari card, 5-drop, 3 black-green, and she is a human warrior. When Michonne enters the battlefield, create 2 walker tokens. That fits. When she was introduced in The Walking Dead, she had 2 zombies on basically leashes. As long as Michonne is equipped, she must be blocked if able. Whenever Michonne and at least 2 zombies attack, she gains indestructible until end of turn. So basically, she comes in immediately once summoning sickness is over. She can become indestructible by swinging with her and the 2 walkers. Conjurer's Claws at that, and you can basically pump a bunch of zombies onto the field. And given that she's Golgari, she has things that can beef her up even more by having more zombies to attack with, such as Endless Ranks of the Dead, From Under the Floorboards, and Army of the Damned. So that's also, it's not going to be fun. But the one that's really going to kill the meta, which I think needs to be banned outright right now, is Negan, the Cold-Blooded. He is a Mardu, 5-drop, 2, 1 red, 1 black, 1 white. He is a human rogue. When Negan enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each secretly choose a creature that player controls. When those choices are revealed, and those choices get revealed, then that player sacrifices those creatures. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a creature, you create a treasure token. So as soon as Negan hits the field, you're hoping that the opponent picks something along with you. So if they've got big stompies out, don't pick the big stompy, because they're not going to get rid of their big stompy. Pick their tokens. And then you're creating 2 treasures right off the get-go. Then throw in things where a target opponent or any opponent has to sacrifice creatures, and you're generating more treasures. You throw in Conjurer's Closet every time Negan re-enters the battlefield. You do the same thing, wash, rinse, repeat. And he is going to be stupid powerful in Mardu Aristocrats because of the fact that you have all these methods of getting people to discard or to sacrifice their creatures, like Shieldred. If you have Shieldred, you have to sacrifice with Shieldred's ability on the upkeep. And the thing is that it'd be one thing if these cards weren't legal off the get-go. If these cards were silver bordered and you could play them if your casual group allowed you, this wouldn't be an issue. But the problem is that they are stacking the meta, and Wizards is historically known to stack the meta, and then as soon as it becomes a problem, that's when they go ahead and do the bans. It's just like with Oko. Oko was killing in tournaments. I went to Star City Games in Columbus in January, and I lost to 3 different Oko decks. And then it wasn't until the next month that Oko got banned because of the fact that it was tilting the meta in both standard, modern, paper, MTGA. You know, it's crazy. And now you're going to have all these commander players that these aren't going to be permissible in standard, no doubt. But, you know, you've got modern, you've got your commander, maybe pauper. I don't really know. I don't play pauper, but you have all these formats that this is going to be legal in, that it's going to tilt the meta in the favor of the people who are paying the $50. This is a repeat of the Double Masters issue. The Double Masters issue is that you were paying out your nose for a booster pack. Your odds of getting these super rare cards, they'll say, yeah, we'll throw 2 in there, but are you really going to get good ones if they're throwing 2 in there? They're going to keep those ones that are held with higher value off to the side. And it's the same argument with like the reserve list. You know, the reserve list, you're not going to lose your value by reprinting those cards, but they won't reprint those cards because they're making too much money on the secondary market. And the thing that bothers me the most about this is that essentially with Rosewater tweeting out that if these cards are popular, we'll reprint them in a Magic format that everyone can get their hands on. They're basically admitting, we know not everyone is going to get these cards. We don't care. We're printing it out. We're going to get the money for it. Deal with it. If you like it, we'll print it out so everybody can get it. It's not fair to those of us who are budget players who can't shell out $50 for this type of set of cards. We couldn't shell out hundreds of dollars for the VIP booster boxes that were obviously crap. We can't shell out all this money for entire booster boxes of sets. However, over time, we can buy enough packs to constitute a booster box. And that's an argument that I made with somebody on a commander group, is that you can buy these booster packs up until you've reached enough that you can be considered a booster box. Are you going to pay more? Yeah, but it's done over time and you have better chances. You're playing the odds. A booster box, you're still not guaranteed to get all these super rare cards. I remember I opened a booster box of Dominaria with somebody, and none of us got the Karn that everybody wanted. Karn was not in there. Neither, I don't think the Liliana was in there either. Or maybe it was the Karn and the Liliana wasn't in there. Karn might have been in there. But just that just goes to show, a booster box is not guaranteed that you're going to end up getting these super rare cards. Just like deck builders toolkits, you're not going to be guaranteed to get good pulls out of the booster packs, although you have that chance. Out of your fat packs or your bundles, you're going to have that chance because it's all booster packs. But the thing is that this completely throws the odds in the favor of those with money. This is turning Magic into a play to win. Or pay to win, pardon me. This is turning these cards are going to tilt the meta in the favor of those playing them, and it's because they had the money to buy the cards. Now, a lot of secret lairs have been, that I've heard have been bought, and they frame the cards or they keep them in the box or whatever because they consider them collector's items, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to knock anybody for buying these cards. If you want to buy these cards, go for it. But I want to make sure that my voice is heard as well as other people who see this as a problem, that these cards are turning this game into pay to win. Before these cards, everybody had a fair shake. But now it's turning into, if you have $50 to buy this set of cards, we will help you. We will boost you. And it's not fair to the rest of us. It's not fair to those of us who cannot afford to buy these cards, that we should be left to suffer against decks that are mechanically unique. You're going to end up getting a mechanically unique legendary creature. You're going to build a deck that is completely centered around that unique mechanic, and we are not going to have much of an answer. The best we can do is hope that we can build our decks with plenty of counter spells, plenty of removal, and plenty of responses. Other than that, we are royally screwed. And this is not cool. Had Rosewater not doubled down and basically said, yeah, we realize this could be an issue, but if it's popular, we'll go ahead and reprint it. Had they not said that, this would be a whole different argument. Had these been silver bordered, had they been reprints, had they been Godzilla cosmetics, or, special arts, or, like, even when they did the My Little Pony set, that came out was completely, they weren't legal. They weren't legal. I don't even remember if they were silver bordered or not. But these coming out legal off the rip is wrong. And I will continue to say that. This is wrong. And until Wizards does something about it, it's not going to get any better. Because right now, what's going to happen is people are going to buy it, and that's going to show Wizards that this is okay. We don't care. Just give us cards. We don't care that people aren't going to have the ability to fight these cards or get these cards. I can. I want it. I will get it. Keep giving these to me. And this is more pointing towards the affluent side of Magic. These are the people who can drop thousands of dollars in one hit on a deck. The most I've spent on a deck in one transaction was $50 on my Marath deck. And that was to buy Marath and 99 lands. And that's the most I've spent on a deck in a single hit. Now, that's not to say that I don't have expensive decks, because my zombie deck is valued at almost $500 to $800, depending on the fluctuation of the market. Mainly because of the fact that it's stuffed with Lilianas, and it's stuffed with showcase lands, and it's stuffed with zombie lords. But I bought all of those over time. And that's the issue. If these were something that everybody could get access with when the time was right, if the time was right and I could pay $50 for a Negan card, just the Negan, I wouldn't have an issue with it. I would buy the Negan, I would build a Mardu Aristocrat deck, and we'd be done. But the fact is that you're paying $50, you're getting, at this time, 4 legendary creatures that nobody else, unless they pay that $50, has access to. You pay $50, you wait 3 months, they print off only as many pre-orders as they have, and ta-da, the meta is now shifted in their favor. And it's not right. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to try and get some more stuff here, especially Magic content here on YouTube. Let me know if you guys want more stuff like this about the news that's coming out, or anything about decks. So, yeah, until next time, guys, be good to yourselves and be good to others. I'll see ya.